Welcome everybody to episode 43 of TNC, where we are kicking things off with another battle in the TNC 2. Jace Gold looking to bounce back after taking a loss last week to Owen Spade. Got off to a good start in this tournament, knocking off Pete Brent 2 weeks ago, but could not come up with the win against Spade last week, who has looked dominant in this tournament thus far. Both going up against Zyler Glass. He was able to get on the board last week for the first time, knocking off the assassinating Kennedy, after also falling to Owen Spade. In the first round of matchups, Zyler looking to get a winning streak going here in the TNC2, while Jace Gold definitely looking to keep up with the rest of the competition and start a winning streak of his own. As both men looking to tie Owen Spade at 6 points. This both men set to go, and there's the bell. Collar elbow tie up as Gold able to shove Glass back toward the corner, and they'll lock up again. And Gold able to force Glass into the ropes. The ref breaks it up, but Gold now with that waistlock applied. And Zyler quickly turning this into a chin lock. And now Zyler wrenching at the chin of Jace Gold. The Gold now up to a knee. And Zyler changing the pressure point from the chin to the shoulder. Continuing to wrench at that shoulder. This Gold so far hasn't been able to do anything about it. Now back to his feet, but Glass turning it into a hammerlock quickly. And Jace Gold so far has had no answer for the chain wrestling and grappling ability of Zyler Glass. But now Gold able to turn it around into a hammerlock of his own. And now a side headlock applied by Gold. Still applied. And now Gold sent off the ropes. Glass ducking under, jumping over. Glass boot gets caught. And a huge drop kick there by Jace Gold. Glass now back to his feet, and Gold tried to drag him to the corner, but Glass getting those elbows in. And Glass, nobody home from the top to the floor. High risk and no reward as Jace Gold now up to the top rope. And Gold looking for the elbow drop, and he connects. And Zyler laid out from that elbow drop, finally getting back to his feet. Gold to the outside, but Zyler able to catch him and send him face first off the apron. And now that rolling elbow from Zyler. And Glass again to the top rope. And Glass gets caught, turned into a power slam. But Glass able to get a boot up there and a big uppercut. Glass was on the apron, dropped to the floor. Now both men making their way back into the ring here. And Glass, big slam to Gold. And went for the double knees, but Jace Gold able to roll out of the way. There's Gold. Handspring into a cutter. And Gold into a cover here, trying to pick up 3 points, but Zyler able to kick out of 1. Gold turning Glass over, now looking for that last chancery. He's got it locked in the middle of the ring. Can he pick up 3 points with a submission? No, Zyler able to break it up. Zyler with a roll up here on Gold gets a kick out of 1. And Zyler to the top rope, tight rope into a drop kick. But Zyler may have caught the worst of that, as both men are down. But Gold rolling out and back in before Zyler can even get to a knee. As Zyler now off the ropes. Gold, German suplex. And Jace Gold up to the top rope. Frog splash. But Zyler with a roll up here. Again on Jace Gold and another kick out by Gold. And Zyler just stomping at Jace Gold. Now waiting for him to get to his feet. And a big uppercut there as these two gonna start trading blows. Big right by Glass. Another by Gold. Chop by Glass. A block by Zyler. And now a block by Gold. Another block by Zyler. And another block by Gold. Big right hand. Knocking Jace Gold down. And once again, Zyler taking off that turnbuckle pad. As Gold to his feet. Big clothesline from the middle rope by Zyler. Into the cover for the 3 points. Can he get him? No. And now Gold off the ropes. Gets caught with the mind shatter. But the ref too busy replacing the turnbuckle pad for a second time. And Zyler cannot capitalize due to his own mistakes. And that may have kept Jace Gold in this match. And now Gold with those shots to the gut. And now Gold thinking Golden Hammer. Got him! For 3 points. 1, 2. Kick out by Glass. Zyler dropping Gold on his head. But Gold quickly back to his feet. Going for a tornado DDT, but gets countered. And now these two going counter for counter. Block for block. And Zyler, Sister Glassagale connects for 3 points. And another kick out by Gold. Gold with the shots to the gut now. As we are under 2 minutes to go in this match as Gold misses the drop kick. And now Zyler sent over the top rope onto the apron. Jace Gold with a forearm. Now over the top rope. DDT on the apron. And Jace Gold potentially smelling blood in the water here. Setting Glass up for a Styles Clash on the outside. And that might have knocked Zyler Glass out. And Gold now up to the top rope. Zyler to his feet. Gold landing that arm drag. Now tossing him back into the ring. 45 seconds to go. Or else it'll be a draw. Enziguri blocked by Zyler. And now Zyler lands a step up Enziguri. Down to 30 seconds. Could this be the first draw of the TNC 2? Gold raking at the eyes. Down to 20 seconds. He knows he's got to move with speed if he wants to pick this up. And another Golden Hammer connects into the cover with 10 seconds to go for 3 points. Can he get him? Yes, he can! And Jace Gold back to his winning ways, picking up another 3 points. And Zyler just 8 seconds away from picking up at least one. But his failure to kick out of that second Golden Hammer means that he will walk away from this matchup with nothing. Zyler really pulled out all the stops in this matchup too. Hit his Sister Glassagale, hit a Mind Shatter. But it just was not enough to combat 2 Golden Hammers and a Styles Clash out on the floor. But as it now stands, Jace Gold sitting at the top of the leaderboards with Owen Spade pending the results of the main event. As we could also see Pete Brents and Cole Crimson joining Owen Spade. Wow. Joining Owen Spade. As well as Jace Gold with 6 points. And if that were to happen, that would leave Zyler Glass and Aiden Kennedy on the outs with only 2 weeks to go. Now we move on to some women's action here on TNC.
Making her way to the ring from New York,
Ashley Sharp still looking for her rematch for the women's championship that she never got after losing it to Olivia Harnage back at Clash of the Titans 2. And since then, Harnage has lost and re-won that title. And some would say it's unfair that Sharp has to go back through the ranks to to get another opportunity. But she could quiet all those doubters with a win here against another former women's champ. It's Samantha Winters.
And her opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, Samantha Winters.
Samantha Winters had a lot of early success in TNC, including winning the women's championship from Haley Blackwell at the first turning point. But after that title reign, it's been a rocky road, a lot of inconsistent performances, inconsistent booking. But we have been seeing her more as of late, and she has impressed. And now she goes one-on-one with yet another former women's champ here in Ashley Sharp, who's still looking for her rematch. A win here could go a long way for both of these women. And there's the bell. As these women just throwing hands off rip, and now we get into a tie-up. And Sharp going to use her size advantage to overpower Winters into the corner. Now another tie-up here. And again, Sharp able to use her size to her advantage, and she knocks Winters back into the turnbuckles and now down to the floor. But Winters able to get a boot up, and they'll tie up for a third time. And once again, just like the other two times, the power of Ashley Sharp coming to her advantage, but again, Winters able to reverse, now lands a heel kick. But this time it's Sharp able to get a boot up, and now both women back to their feet, and Winters lands a big knee strike, and she's quickly to the top rope. And Winters lands the kick from the top. But Sharp quickly turning this around again, as these two run back and forth quite frequently to open this match up. Winters now back to her feet, eats an elbow and a chop. And now a big clothesline, but Sharp holds on for another clothesline and holds on for one more. Winters knee to the gut, followed by the roundhouse kick. But again, another reversal, as neither of these women can sustain offense. And Sharp now, from the top rope, lands the elbow drop. And now Sharp into the cover here on Winters, and a kick out at 2. Winters quickly back to her feet. And Winters now, Russian leg sweep. And now starts beating down on Ashley Sharp. But again, the reversal coming into play. Neither women able to get an upper hand. As now Winters on the apron, and Winters sent all the way to the floor from that top rope stunner. And Sharp now just beaten down on Samantha Winters. And Sharp just tossing Winters into the barricade. Now back in the ring. Samantha Winters with a forearm off the middle rope. And now Winters throwing those left hands. And now Winters up to the top rope. But Ashley Sharp able to roll out of the ring in time. And now Winters ducking under, jumping over. And Samantha Winters gets countered by Sharp and now eats a big boot. And now going after the arm of Winters. Winters able to block. And now a roll up here on Ashley Sharp, but a kick out of one. Now big knee strike there from Winters, now going after the knee. Winters now going after the knee. And now, again, going after both knees this time. And Winters maybe thinking Black Bullet to put Sharp away. And she connects. 1, 2, and a kick out by Sharp. And Winters not done with that huge backbreaker. And into the cover again to put Sharp away. And another kick out at 2. And now Winters trying to put this one away for good. 1, 2, 3. And Samantha Winters able to pick up the win. Over Ashley Sharp. And Winters starting to pick up some more momentum here as she looks to climb her way back up towards the women's championship. Threw everything she could at Sharp there at the end. Black Bullet, that huge backbreaker, and that huge splash off the top rope to finally put her away.
Here is your winner, Samantha
And another victory for Samantha Winters as Ashley Sharp having to go back to the drawing board once again.
The following is a tables match. Making his way to the ring from Virginia Beach, Virginia, weighing in at 250 pounds.
after the events that took place following the match between Seth Ross and Kato Takahashi, where Seth put Kato through a table for seemingly no reason. The CEO has decided to put these two in a tables match here on TNC. This will be the first time ever that we have seen a tables match in the history of this company. Kato Takahashi looking for revenge after what Seth did last week. Putting him through a table, definitely an unexpected move from Seth despite all their battles for the All-Star title. We all thought Seth had turned a new leaf after he abandoned the Cunt Riders and went rogue. But it still seems that there's still a little bit of the old Seth Ross in there. And he still has it out for Kato Takahashi. We'll see if Kato can return the favor. Put Seth through a table here. Both men are set, and here we go. Seth coming out the gate swinging, but Kato able to turn it around and landing that German suplex. And now another German from Takahashi. And a third German suplex from Kato. Kato just toying with Seth now, but Seth responding with a lariat. And now a super kick. And Seth with a big splash. And now we roll to the outside. Seth picking up a table. Is Kato in pursuit of Seth. Kato whipped into the corner. Big right by Seth. And now face first into the turnbuckle. And Seth now grabbing that table. Setting it up in the ring. And a big shot to the back there by Seth. As Kato back to his feet quickly. And Seth back on the attack. And Kato now dumped to the outside, and Seth will follow right behind him. Kato now with those shots to the gut. And now Seth getting tossed across the outside. And another shot to the back, this time by Kato. And now Kato trying to drag Seth back into the ring, and he does. But in doing so, knocked the table over. So now it's going to be Kato's job to set that table back up or just toss it right at Seth. But it did nothing. Now a side suplex onto the table, but the table wasn't set up, so Seth didn't go through. Kato hoisting Seth up, but Seth with those elbows to the face. And now elbow blocked by Kato. And now a release German into the turnbuckles. And Kato starting to get rolling here. Another release German suplex. And Kato maybe vying for one more. And he's got another. And now the table's set up again. But a shot there by Seth, buying him a little bit of time. But Seth whipped into the table. And Kato trying to put him away here with the German suplex, and he does! And that was a very quick tables match. I said it was the first in TNC history. And after that, it might be the last in TNC history. Because that was shit. But congrats to Kato Takahashi, I guess. Got the job done, but wasn't all that great. So let's quickly move on to the next match in the TNC 2, please. Pete Brent bounced back in a big way last week after losing to Jace Gold in the first week. He was able to knock off the world champion Cole Crimson in the main event and pick up his first 3 points in the tournament. And now he's looking to double his point total and tie himself with Jace Gold and Owen Spade. Brent's still not offering an explanation as to why he got involved in the main event match back at Seasons Bleedings. We're hoping to hear an explanation soon. But for now, he's staying quiet. Brent's going up against the assassin Aiden Kennedy, who is still looking for his first points of the tournament, as he's going to need a very quick turnaround if he wants a shot to get into the semifinals. Kennedy's still the only person in this tournament that has been held off the board, still with 0. As it stands, Owen Spade and Jace Gold sit at 6. Brent's, Glass, and Crimson all at 3. And then Aiden Kennedy still at 0. Of course, those numbers will change pending the results of this match and the main event when Owen Spade goes one-on-one with Cole Crimson. But this is a huge match for the Assassin. If he does not get on the board in some way, then he'll probably have to kiss his chances at the world title goodbye. And there are some huge stakes on the line. As here we go, both men trying to come out the gate strong, but neither able to connect as Kennedy applies that waist lock to Pete Brents. And Brent's looking to find any way out of this waist lock. But Kennedy holding strong. And now Brent's able to break it up and apply one of his own. Brent still got that waistlock. Now into a roll-up here, trying to catch the Assassin off guard, but a quick kick out. And now Brent's big boot to the face. And now the Lions up, but nobody home. Is the Assassin looking to take advantage? What in the fuck happened there? What did I just see? I don't know what it was, but it was very effective as Brent's down to 2 knees and then eating a drop kick to the face. And now springboard 450 doesn't connect from Kennedy as these two will lock up in the middle of the ring. And Brent's able to overpower the smaller Assassin. And now these two tie up again. And again, Brent's able to overpower. And now Brent's hoisting him up, dropping the back of his head onto the knee. And Brent's brushing the bottom of his boot onto the face, and now just hammering away with those rights. And you can see the confidence flowing in the 2-time world champion. But Kennedy able to get an elbow in there. And Kennedy gets countered, and Brent's able to pull off a bulldog. But Kennedy now starting to fire up with a couple forearms. And Kennedy lands the Pele kick. And now Kennedy into the cover here on Brent. And Brent's able to kick out at 2. And now the stomps to the gut, followed by the forearm to the face, and Brent's is busted open. And Kennedy now, huge 450. Brent stumbling to the corner. Repeated chops and strikes from the Assassin. And now Brent's off the ropes. Huge stomp from Kennedy. And now Kennedy off the ropes. Went for a drop kick, but Brent's just falling back first into the mat. And now Brent's lining up Kennedy for the H-bomb. But Kennedy gets the boot up. And Kennedy looking to take advantage here, going for the 3 points. but a kick out of 1 from Brent. Brent able to counter, getting those elbows into the gut. Now a drop kick to the back. Kennedy off the ropes. Went for the snapmare, but Brent's able to get out of the way. And Brent went for a rolling forearm, but could not connect with it. As Brent again with the elbows to the gut. And Kennedy tossed all the way to the floor. Brent to the top rope. And Brent landing the kick all the way to the outside. But Kennedy able to turn this one around quickly. Brent's quickly back to his feet. Nobody able to land anything there. But Brent's looking like he's coming out on top of this one here as he knocks Kennedy down to the floor. And now Kennedy tossed back into the ring by Brent. Brent's bringing Kennedy back up to his feet, now sending him off the ropes. And Brent's looking for the Anaconda Vice. He's got the Vice locked in the middle of the ring. Can he get the Assassin to tap here? No. And Kennedy retreating to the apron. And Brent's tried to spear him off, but Kennedy got a knee up and lands the buckshot. And now Kennedy, Black Bullet. 1, 2, kick out by Brent at 2.5. That close to his first points of the tournament. And now Kennedy tightrope walking into an elbow drop. And now a 450 from the Assassin. And Kennedy may be looking to set Brent up for the Dragonfly Cutter. Can he hit it? Set him up for the Dragonfly. But Kennedy not done just yet. As he can smell blood in the water, he can smell those 3 points in just seconds if he can hit this KBD. But Brent's able to reverse the KBD into a back body drop. And now Brent's thinking Art of Hate driver. And Brent has him set up and connects with the Art of Hate driver. Into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Kennedy at 2.5. Both men just half a second away from picking up 3 points. And now both got to dig deep and figure out what they got to do in the next 2+ minutes to finish the job as another buckshot lariat connects from Kennedy. And now from the middle rope, big knee strike from the Assassin. And now Kennedy lining Brent up again for another drop kick to the side of the head. And now off the ropes, landing all of his body weight onto Brent. And now another springboard 450. Kennedy just pulling out every high-risk move he could possibly think of in his arsenal. As Brent's now back to his feet. Planting Brent. And now trying to put this one away for good. Another attempt at the KBD. And this time he connects! Approaching the final minute, could this be the nail in the coffin for Pete Brents? Can Aiden Kennedy finally get on the board with 3 points? No! Brents kicked out again! And we are down to the final minute. Big knee strike from Kennedy. And Brents smartly rolling to the apron with 45 seconds to go. And now set up suplex back into the ring by Kennedy. Smart move. As we're now down to the final 30 seconds. We got down to the final 10 before we saw a winner. Could we see our first tie? Down to 20 seconds. Brent's back in the ring. Off the ropes. Arm drag from Kennedy. Down to 10 seconds. Kennedy's got to move, but a reversal. Knee strike. Dodged. Down to 5 seconds, and this one is going to end in a draw. So both men will pick up a point. Aiden Kennedy sitting at 1. And Pete Brents now firmly in 3rd place with 4 points. And now we move on to our second women's match of the night. As one of the top contenders for the women's championship, SJ Ray will go one-on-one with Sky Hunt, who picked up her first victory last week against a former 2-time women's champion, Kendall Hendricks. Hunt looking to double her luck, but SJ Ray has just been an absolute force in the women's division since her debut in the Golden Ticket ladder match. Gone undefeated since then. Looking to continue that streak against an up-and-comer in Sky Hunt.
And her opponent from Brooklyn, New York,
Sky Hunt, like I said earlier, picking up her first win in TNC last week against Kendall Hendricks. But this week might be her toughest opponent yet. As I mentioned again before, SJ Ray undefeated inside of a TNC ring. And we're going to see if Sky Hunt is up to the challenge. Hunt going up against the likes of Olivia Harnage, Hendricks like we mentioned, Samantha Winters. She's faced a lot of stiff competition. She was able to put it all together last week against Kendall Hendricks, but can she keep the momentum going against SJ Ray? As Ray rolling up Hunt, but a quick kick out. And now SJ Ray repeated boots to the face. And SJ Ray with the X Factor to Hunt. The Hunt back to her feet. Small package here on SJ Ray, and a quick kick out by Ray. Now Ray off the ropes. Hunt went for a German, but Ray landing on her feet. And now these two women lock up. Hunt able to overpower SJ Ray into the corner and landing a cheap shot there. Hunt now to the apron. And Ray. Hunt looking for a crossbody. I'm not really sure if it caught SJ Ray. But Ray catches Hunt with that cutter and she's busted open. And already these two are going to start trading blows. Going chop for chop. There's an overhand right. Another chop by Ray. Another chop. Again going chop for chop. This time a block by Sky Hunt. And another chop by SJ Ray. And now breaking out into a hockey fight. Who comes out on top, and it's going to be Sky Hunt. And Hunt spiking SJ Ray on her head. Going for the cover here on Ray, and a kick out of 2. Ray gets an elbow up. Holy fuck, what a voice crack. Yeah, that's a big Pele. Big right from Hunt. And Hunt now thinking stomp. Can she hit it? Yes, she can. And Sky Hunt looking to upset SJ Ray, but another kick out at 2. Keeps her undefeated streak alive. And Hunt springboard, this time nobody home. And SJ Ray taking advantage. And quickly up to the top rope is SJ Ray. And Ray, double axe handle from the top. And now, SJ Ray setting up Sky Hunt for the Panama Sunrise. And Ray quickly into the cover, trying to put Hunt away, but a kick out at 2. And now sizing up for Sweet Chin Music. And now SJ Ray, Rings of Saturn locked in, middle of the ring. Sky Hunt has nowhere to go. And she's forced to tap out. A very quick match that was a tale of 2 halves. As it was all Sky Hunt mostly. Up until SJ Ray kicked out of that stomp. And after that kick out, it was all SJ Ray. And the combination of the Panama Sunrise, the Sweet Chin Music, and the Rings of Saturn was what did Sky Hunt in. And another impressive victory on the resume for SJ Ray. She keeps her undefeated streak intact. And she may have multiple opportunities that championship gold in her future. As she can celebrate another victory here on TNC. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event. As Owen Spade will take on his former BHS teammate in Cole Crimson.
You die first, get it? Your friends might get me in a rush, but not before I make your head into a canoe, you understand me?
The last time that these two men went one-on-one in this company was all the way back at Clash of the Titans 1, where they opened that show with the stipulation that if Owen Spade won, then the charges against him from the attack at the strip club would be dropped. But unfortunately for Owen, he did not end up winning that match. The charges persisted, thus leading to the infamous court case, leading to a tag team match between Zyler and Cole against Owen and Matt Marco, which eventually sent Owen Spade to prison. Spade, as we can all see, is out of prison, is back from the dead, is the All-Star champion, and now he has his eyes set on just more than the All-Star championship. He's already a triple champion, holding both the BCW and ELW World Championships. Of course, Owen Spade, the inaugural ELW World Champion, after colluding with Timeless Owen to screw over Zyler Glass, and then recently defeating Keith to claim the BCW World Championship. And now Owen Spade has a fourth belt on his mind. But to get there, he's got to take down the current champ, as Owen Spade looking to push his point total up to 9. Cole Crimson trying to match. As Owen able to push Cole into the corner. And Cole getting a cheap shot in. As these two lock up again here. Owen applying that side headlock. And Cole able to toss Owen to the apron. And Owen able to get back into the ring here. Owen off the ropes. Cole ducking under. And Cole with a big elbow. And now Cole dragging Owen toward the ropes. And Cole tossing Owen all the way to the floor. And Cole now from the top, nobody home on the Swanton. And now Owen with a poison Rana. Rubbing salt in the wound for missing that Swanton, making it even worse for Cole Crimson. As both men now back in the ring. Is Owen able to block that forearm from Cole. And now into the corner, an elbow. And an enziguri from Owen Spade. As Owen in complete control of the world champ right now. He's able to do anything he wants. As both men back to their feet. Big lariat by Cole. And Owen in retreat mode. But ends up getting caught. Is Cole. And now Owen snapping the shoulder. And now Owen with the big knee to the face. And now just repeated shots to the back of the head. Count of 4 as Cole is tossed back into the ring. And now a huge lariat by Cole, but he knocked the rep down with him. And a jumping headbutt busting Owen Spade open. And a big Pele there. And Cole Crimson now busted open. And Owen now whipped into the corner. Cole Crimson with speed here. Big lariat. And now Cole going for the cover here on Owen. And a kick out of 1. And now Cole dropping the knee into the gut of Owen Spade. But Spade able to kick Cole away. Now to the outside. Spade lining up Cole here for a knee to the chest. And now planting Cole on the outside. And just tossing Cole over to the corner. But Cole able to get a boot up. And now Cole tossing Spade back into the ring. And Cole trying to drag Owen to the corner. But Owen able to get those shots into the gut. And now another ref bump here. And Owen going to use it to his advantage. And now Owen Spade going for a cover here on Cole Crimson to pick up another 3 points and a kick out at 2. And now Cole getting dragged toward the middle of the ring. And Spade now has Cole set up for the stomp. Into the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Cole. Cole able to kick Owen away. And Cole now with a roll up here on Owen Spade, trying to catch him off guard. Reverse by Spade. Can he get Cole? 2. And a reversal. I thought it was a kick out, but an immediate kick out by Owen. Spade, ripcord knee. Spade now. Over the top rope, landing that leg drop. And now targeting the arm of Crimson. Trying to weaken that Crimson choke if he can ever get a hold of it, but another knee strike by Spade. And now the arm's trapped. Spade, repeated kicks to the back. And Spade now with a forearm. A second forearm. And Spade now lands the Pele kick. And Spade looking for a second stomp. And he got him! Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Owen Spade sits alone at the top again with 9 points. 3-0 in the TNC 2. So as it stands, Owen Spade sits at the top with 9 points. In second is Jace Gold with 6 points. In third is Pete Brents with 4 points. And then tied for fourth is Cole Crimson and Zyler Glass with 3 points. And then in last is Aiden Kennedy with 1 point. Everybody is now on the board. With 2 more episodes to go until Injustice, there is still plenty to be played out in this tournament before we determine our top 4 and head into the semifinals. We will see you all next week for episode 44 of TNC.